Fancy making 73 out of 110 on such a big occasion as this. It's a wonderful performance by Viv Richards. He's the only man standing between England and a pretty simple victory, but what a man to have against you.
Well, just time for one more over. I fancy before lunch. 110 for 7, 26 they bowled this morning in just on 2 hours. So it's not been the greatest over rate, but no doubt we should get used to this sort of over rate during the course of the summer. Every wicket's mind you fallen, which hasn't helped. And the prospect of still more victims here for Jeff Miller. A handy recall this has been for him. Poor Vic Marks missing out on a turner here. And Baptiste essaying the sweep chop. Whether he got a bat on that, whether it was pad, we shall see in a minute. He got nothing, it was byes. Miller again. Baptiste the batsman. Gave him plenty of time, short enough, just rocked onto the back foot. That's off the mark with 2 again, to mid-wicket. Point has been quickly pulled away, both of them moving into square leg. So there we are, that concludes the morning's play with West Indies 114 for 7 off 27 overs. And what a remarkable morning's cricket it's been. Viv Richards, who came in at number 4, is on 73. 73 out of 114. And what a sorry state the visitors would have been in without him. He's seldom been in trouble. He's picked his spot. He's played, as ever, absolutely beautifully on the leg side. And it has been quite a remarkable performance. So England will be absolutely delighted with their morning's work. To dismiss 7 West Indians in a couple of hours is almost unheard of in this day and age. And with Miller the off-spinner picking up 3 wickets and getting support from the other bowlers. Wonderful first day start then for David Gower as captain. So there are the details, with West Indies winning the toss, decided to bat first, which was something unusual. They might well have regretted it by now. Haynes run out early on, Greenwich going for 9. Nice catch by Bairstow off both of them. Richardson caught and bowled Willis off a ball that seemed to stop and lolled back very gently to the bowler. And Miller came into his action. Bowled Gomes with a very good delivery, which turned, pitched round about leg middle, hit off. Lloyd caught deep square leg sweeping. Dujon caught sweeping just round the corner on the leg side. And Marshall for the West Indies rather tragically run out for 4. But the master remains. Richards 73 not out, and has included 10 fours in that innings. Baptiste is with him on 2, with Garner and Holding to come. Willis 1 for 14, both are 1 for 26. Foster a little bit expensive, lost his line in the last couple of overs, 0 for 34. Miller 3 for 21. I've seen him bowl better than that, in fact, and it might be a hard thing to say, but I think his figures have flattered him a little bit. Pringle 2 overs for just 12 runs, and England riding high then with West Indies at 114 for 7. And sat outside in not quite sunshine at the moment, but still a very pleasant day, is Peter West.
Thank you, Jim. Remarkable was the word used in there to describe the morning's cricket, and I don't think you can improve on that. And the sort of pitch, maybe, that England would be wise to put in their bags and carry around for the rest of the summer.
I would imagine so. The amazing thing is team selection. The West Indies have left Harper out. England have only got 1 spinner anyway, and yet it was crying out for 2 spinners out there. I mean, it prayed for that wicket to bowl in one-day cricket against the West Indies.
Yes, you even feel that you wish you were a little younger again.
Well, after the first 2 or 3 deliveries from Jeff Miller, I was taking my coat off in there.
Right, let's have a look to see what happened. England had a pretty nice stroke of luck in the second over. Both of them had a splendid start to his day. Desmond Haynes and Gorman Greenwich. This was a second over of the morning, both of them to Haynes. Slight hesitation. You see Botham and Greenwich almost colliding, and Botham, remarkable, he so managed to hit the wicket at that top end.
Well, it's amazing how often the wickets do get hit when people are out of the ground. But again, hesitation here that caused the problem. It's always the same. If both batsmen go 100%, then they get in. But there again, you got tremendous people bumping and boring there with each other. I mean, one batsman's in at the other end, and the other one hasn't set off there hardly. But again, he hit the wicket, and that's how it's all about.
So that was a splendid start for England. It really had their supporters bubbling. That was 5 for 1 in the second over. Desmond Haynes, who made a mountain of runs in one-day cricket in the winter, including 400s against the Australians. Greenwich, of course, has been in tremendous nick. And Ray, we'll have a look now at the... Not quite ready to see this. In fact, Ian Botham. Bob Willis bowled a very good, tight, sensible, slightly within himself opening spell, didn't he?
He bowled very well, in fact.
Very well.
Very well indeed.
Yeah, and Botham also was very concentrating on line and length, and the ball he got Greenwich with was an absolute beaut. There it is.
Right. Yes, well, that's the perfect ball with the new ball, of course. It just ran away from her a little bit. It got a thin edge on it, and of course, that was a tremendous blow to the West Indies and a real fillip for the England side, because Greenwich has been in tremendous form this last week or two, and he's a very powerful player, and you can see it again there. Just runs away from him. Bairstow on his return made no mistake at all, and a tremendous blow for England.
That was 2 down for 11 in the 4th over of the morning, at which point, of course, Viv Richards was established. And I must say the great man looked pretty threatening, didn't he?
Well, I mean, batting's looked a different game when he's been out there. I mean, he's made 70 odd. I won't say that he's maybe played and missed once or twice, but he really has made batting look easy.
73 to Richards, and the score would look a bit sick without him, wouldn't it?
Well, it'd be probably something about 50 or 60 for a 7. But the game looks so different, doesn't it? It's an easy game when he's playing.
Right. Well, Richie Richardson looked a very calm, well-organised player. Most people were having their first sight of him, and he was content to play quietly with Richards going so handsomely at the other end. And this was the end of Richie Richardson facing Willis.
Yes, and you've got this ball must have stopped. It's difficult to say whether I haven't seen the wicket, so I don't know if it's a bit damp or the top's just going a bit. But it's obvious to see one or the other, because the ball has turned, and that appeared to stop completely. Because he was just playing an ordinary defensive shot. It wasn't if it was his first ball; it'd been in quite a while, and yet the ball nearly lobbed back over Bob Willis's head. So obviously the ball is stopping and holding on the wicket, and it's going to, if it keeps on like this all the time, it's going to create problems at the wicket at the end of the day.
The score had moved on to 43 by now when the third wicket fell. That was in the 11th over. Richards had been pretty severe on one Botham over. So, although the run rate was satisfactory for the West Indies, the number of wickets down was not. And then we had Larry Gomes, the left-hander, coming out.
Yes, well, again, Larry plays with a very close face. And, of course, on this type of wicket, where the ball is turning quite a bit, it's going to get him in problems. And, of course, Jeff Miller bowled him a good delivery, which he made into a much better delivery by playing across the line.
Let's have a look at it then.
see there, and the bat in actual fact is going towards mid-wicket. Now, whilst it was a good delivery, there's no doubt about it. It pitched round about middle, off middle, and hit the off stump and turned. But in fact, Gomes was playing with his bat going through to mid-wicket, so he kind of made it turn double. You can see it here again, and you can see where his bat's going. That's a real good wicket shot, not a wicket shot for this type of wicket.
63 for 4, 17 overs bowled, and might send a little note of sympathy here to Victor Marks, Ray, for having missed out here. I mean, he sort of pitched that he'd like to have
How
bowled.
how lucky can you be, you know? He would have liked to play in this match. He has to drop out from injury. Jeff Miller comes in expecting to bowl the West Indies on a good flat wicket, and he comes and finds a wicket like this. There's a lot of luck in this game.
Right now, of course, England were faced by Richards and Lloyd, who got a heartwarming reception from his own crowd here. When he came out before play today, Cedric Rhodes, the chairman of Lancashire, made a presentation to him to mark his 100th Test match in the winter. Tremendous reception as this father figure of West Indies cricket came out, and he began with 4 hearty sweep against Miller, who lost his length down, lost his direction a bit
Yes,
down the
it
leg
was
side.
very awfully. Jeff, in fact, hasn't bowled as well as he would like. I think if you asked him, and he was very honest, he'd be saying, well, I've bowled a pretty bad line at times, but he's come out with tremendous figures, and of course,
That's cricket, isn't it?
you know, there's sometimes you bowl very well and you get nothing.
Right.
So if you
Right.
cash in when it's not going too well, that's fair enough. I always feel that Clive's a little bit vulnerable against off spinners if he's doing a little bit. He tends to play the line with his pad and outside it with his bat, and then he has a lap at one,
Yeah.
which in fact he did in this occasion. And on this particular sort of wicket where the ball is stopping and not coming through, there's always a danger if you sweep in, the ball will go in the air.
Right, Clive Lloyd had made 8, and this was the manner of his departure.
You see, this is a good length ball.
Baptiste will keep the strike again.